If you enjoy anime, be sure to come on down for 31 days of anime over on Mystic Sage. Also follow our TikToks for daily Pokemon and anime content. Links for all of those will be below. How goes it, everyone? It's time once again for another strongest type for every game video. So in the last video, we had the highly controversial Poison type take the stage. People wanted Nidoking in more of these games. And you know what? I agree with you. Perhaps Nidoking, at least in the Kanto games, might have been the better go-around over Venusaur in the early releases. However, that's in the past, and today, we're going to be talking all about Alakazam. Well, if you're to believe one of the top comments on the Poison type video, that's what you'd think. Though really, I think you guys might be a little surprised by some of the picks here on the list. So do me a favor, just sit back and relax and free your mind of any preconceived notions about this video, as I'm going to enter deep within and present to you the best Psychic type for every game. Alright guys, let's start with the first generation, right at Red, Blue, and Yellow. That's right, let us just get it out of the way here. It's Mew. You head to the SS Sand, you look under the truck, and boom. You know, if you're impatient and don't want to wait that long, there's a neat trick you can do to glitch the game. And, nah, who am I kidding? It's Alakazam. So Slowbro was definitely worth considering for these games, as its water typing, combined with great special stat, made it a real contender, as it can stand up to Sabrina's team even better than Alakazam can. But guys, come on. That 135 base special stat is way too much to overlook its impact on the rest of the game. It gets Psychic by level up, so you can even save the TM, or just use it and get it a little earlier. Also, it's fast as hell with 120 base in that stat, so crits will come easy to Alakazam. Though the one thing that keeps my mind locked on Slowbro a little bit even now is the fact that at least it has something outside of a Psychic move to use. I don't know. I still think it's just better to use Alakazam and hit powerful crit Psychics all the time, but you guys let me know if the moves Slowbro learns is enough to push it past Alakazam. I'm curious what you have to say. As for Gold, Silver, and Crystal, it's much more of a runaway for Alakazam. It might be the best appearance for Alakazam in the coverage department. It goes from basically having nothing outside of Psychic in the first gen to all the elemental punches, which is a pretty big upgrade. Since you're able to get Abra early on the way to Goldenrod, you can have Alakazam early on for Whitney, which should make things super easy. Then, well, with Psychic moves, you can stop Morty and Chuck, then the elemental punches just handle the majority of Jasmine, Price, and Claire's teams. You head into the Elite Four, you'll dominate Will, you'll bury Koga, you'll cave in Bruno, and you'll absolutely annihilate Lance. This is without a doubt the most dominating Alakazam is in any game. And while it not reach heights like this again, without being able to Mega Evolve, you can rest assured Alakazam remains a very dominant force. As a matter of fact, we're talking about it again in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. There were two real choices for these games, being Alakazam and Gardevoir, and the latter is a great option too. It's better defensively, but it isn't as fast or strong as our Mon of the Hour. We're still sitting in a non-physical special split world, so Shadow Ball isn't good on either of these Pokemon. Though Guardy does get access to Thunderbolt, while all Alakazam gets is Shockwave, so that's one thing against it. That is about it though, the only true advantage. You can get Abra in Granite Cave in Dewford, which is early to Psych Rolts. You can get Alakazam pretty quickly. And yeah, enjoy yourself with this thing. It'll put in a lot of work throughout the playthrough, and it does the same thing in Fire Red and Leaf Green. Oh, it's the pick for those games too, which shouldn't come as a surprise. It gets the same moves from Ruby and Sapphire, and really that's all it is. The idea of Slowbro rears its head again, but once more, it just isn't as strong as Alakazam. And I think that speed still holds some weight in Kanto, even if it does not lead to crits anymore. I'll say though, Slowbro's move pool is pretty nice in these games, so if you want to sacrifice the speed and power for a deeper move pool, I can completely understand. I also wanted to mention that Jinx is also not a bad option when you consider the Ice type, but I still think Alakazam is the best choice. Now let us finally move into a nice physical special split in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. I bet you guys couldn't guess what I'm gonna go with here. I'll tell you, nothing even comes close to Alakazam in these games. Not at all. It ain't Chimecho, it ain't Unknown, it ain't Bronzong, and it ain't Medicham. It's Alakazam. It can finally use Shadow Ball effectively, which is very big. It has access to Focus Blast now, which offers you nice coverage against dark types as well. You can get Abra from a trade in Orberg, and then you can trade the eventual Kadabra for an Alakazam. And you're in good shape if you want it that early. Go ahead and use Alakazam to your heart's content. It's fantastic. Oh, and go ahead and keep using it in Heart Gold and Soul Silver too. There really is no reason not to. Now, Alakazam doesn't have the same kind of coverage that it is afforded in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, but that doesn't stop it from being incredibly strong and a bit dominant in battle. Once again, if you'd like to argue for Slowbro or Jinx, don't let me stop you. Jinx, however, isn't as good as it used to be, but it's still not a bad option to pick. Espeon is also not a horrifying option either. Alright guys, it's finally time to take a step away from Alakazam and talk about something else. As we know, Black and White and their sequels have a large amount of new Pokemon, and the first installments of Unova are exclusively those new Pokemon, so we can't choose Alakazam here. Though, you guys know full well I have an affinity for a certain Pokemon in these games, and it's Sigilith. Now, a lot of you are probably hopping aboard the Reuniclus train, wanting to come at me with your perceived facts and logic. Reuniclus is strong and perhaps under some circumstances is in fact a lot better than Sigilith in competitive play, but my god is it super slow. Sigilith's defenses are overall better, but it doesn't have the HP stat Reuniclus has. I say, in the end, who cares? Look, as a Pokemon in a playthrough, Sigilith offers you access to Fly, it has a strong special move in Air Cutter, and of course access to Psychic. It can learn Shadow Ball, Ice Beam, and depending on the game you're playing, you can get Energy Ball or Charge Beam. It's all up to you. It's a great Pokemon, and a nice pick for these Gen 5 games. Now, with X and Y, I actually didn't go with Alakazam here, despite it being a good Pokemon still. I actually went with Gardevoir this time, as the Megas are taken out of the equation for both this go-around. Gardevoir's access to Moonblast and the Fairy typing cannot be understated, and as we talked about earlier, it has really nice special stats in speed that could definitely be worse. Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, and Shadow Ball are all in the pool too. So yeah, you guys can definitely see why Guardy is the choice in Kalos. It does a lot, and it's one of the few times it truly outclasses Alakazam. Now, in Oras, that isn't the same circumstance, as Alakazam outdoes Gardevoir this time, having the ability to Mega Evolve as soon as you unlock the mechanic, since its Mega Stone is in Pseudopolis. You have to defeat the game's Legendary in order to get the Gardevoirite, so it can't compare this time around. You guys know the stats on Mega Alakazam, and you'll see them on screen now. It's strong, and fast, and really damn good. Its access to Dazzling Gleam will protect against dark types. And all in all, it's a great fit on any team. There isn't much else to say. That Mega Evolution is really all the argument one needs. Oh, and the Latis? They aren't as strong as Alakazam. And their Dragon typing is more of a detriment than anything else. I didn't really consider them for this. We're gonna talk all about the Alolan games at once. And this one is a tie essentially, because I couldn't figure which was actually better. So I had two Pokemon on my mind here, Metagross and Alakazam again. See, Metagross isn't gotten until you're on the 3rd island, which is definitely a lot later than you could feasibly get your hands on Alakazam. However, I do see Metagross as being a much better Pokemon here in these games. Its Steel typing is great for Fairy Pokemon, which are definitely a bit of, and its attack stat is as good as Alakazam's special attack. However, you still can't go wrong with the sheer power of Alakazam and its fantastic speed. Both of these Pokemon are really on par with one another. It's hard for me to choose here. Alakazam being available sooner scores it a lot of points with me, but I want to hear from you guys. Which do you think is better for Sun and Moon and the Ultra games? Let me know. I'll be looking out for your answers. Let's go. Yeah, it's Alakazam, or maybe it's Slowbro. I don't know, either works. I would just use Alakazam. Finally, we reach Sword and Shield. And with this game, both Gardevoir and Alakazam get the chance to share the spotlight forever. Basically, if you have the DLC, you want to use Alakazam for obvious reasons. If you don't, you'll want to use Gardevoir. I don't think I really need to get into this too much, you guys. You already know how good these two are and why. And quite frankly, all these games do is give them much easier access to great moves. So they're even better here. Well, that's gonna do it for the best Alakazam for every game. Or rather, the best Psychic type for every game. You guys kind of already know what you were in for when you'd suggested this one. So I hope nobody is disappointed. Let me know what typing you'd like to see next, and hopefully we can have some variety at that point. I'll be looking out for what you guys choose. Hey, welcome to my new outro. A big thank you to everyone for watching the video. I want to give a huge thanks to my phenomenal team, and for the amazing art done each week by Danny the Demon. I couldn't do all this without them. If y'all enjoyed the video and want to see more content like this, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Be sure to leave a comment too, it really helps us out. I have a brand new TikTok for Mystic Umbreon, and I've got a goal to get the 10k followers over there. If we can hit that goal, I'm going to pick a random video suggested to me by you guys and do it. So go over there and leave a follow. Also over on Mystic Sage in the month of July, I'll be uploading one video a day. We've got content from My Hero to Demon Slayer to Black Clover. So come over to check it out. And also check out Mystic Sage on TikTok. Finally, I've got an Amazon store where we sell tons of Pokemon and anime products. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mystic Umbreon, and I'll see you next time with some more amazing Pokemon content.